Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of today. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed MGT.
I'm Colonel AUC Oguntoye, an infantry officer. As of October 15, 2025, Russian armed forces sustained coordinated offensive actions across all axes of engagement. Key objectives were achieved through advances in the Sumy, Kharkiv, Donetsk, Zaporizhia, Dnipropetrovsk, and Kherson regions. Tactical gains were supported by combined arms operations utilizing precision fires, electronic warfare suppression, and extensive use of aviation and unmanned systems.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel AUC Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Colonel Oguntoye, let's start broadly. As of October 15, 2025, what's the overall operational picture across the front lines of the special military operation?
The general operational situation remains favorable. Across all axes of advance, our forces are conducting controlled offensive operations designed to expand tactical depth and secure logistical corridors critical for sustained maneuver. This week's engagements demonstrated precision coordination among infantry, armor, aviation, and missile units. We've seen steady progress from Sumy in the north to Kherson in the south, where multiple Ukrainian mechanized, airborne, and territorial formations were degraded. The Russian armed forces executed synchronized strikes on enemy logistics, electronic warfare nodes, and energy infrastructure that supports Ukrainian defense industry operations. These combined effects are steadily eroding the adversary's operational endurance and forcing reactive repositioning along multiple sectors.
Let's begin in the north, where you mentioned tactical improvement. What's happening around Sumy and Kharkiv?
In the northern sector, our North Troop Group successfully advanced their tactical positions around Korchakovka, Pavlovka, and Sadki in the Sumy region. We targeted and destroyed several mechanized brigades and an assault regiment. These actions neutralized about 190 enemy personnel and key assets, including armored vehicles, field artillery, and a German-made Gepard self-propelled gun. What's significant here is not just the number of losses inflicted but the operational consequence. We've disrupted a defensive belt that served as an anchor for Ukrainian rotation cycles. Simultaneously, near Volchansk and Kharkiv, precision artillery and airstrikes dismantled another Ukrainian motorized brigade. The elimination of 9 supply depots and an ammunition warehouse has severely constrained their replenishment capability in the northern approach corridor.
Does this shift the operational tempo along the border region?
Yes. It grants us control of observation lines and allows for greater reconnaissance freedom. It also opens potential to project artillery dominance deeper into Ukrainian staging areas in Sumy, effectively reducing their maneuver space.
Turning to the west, near Kupiansk and Drobyshevo, what are the latest developments there?
The West Troop Group made measured advances, securing stronger defensive lines and terrain advantageous for artillery deployment. We neutralized 3 mechanized brigades, an assault brigade, and elements of the National Guard. Enemy losses approached 220 personnel, with multiple armored platforms and 7 electronic warfare stations destroyed. This phase is about attritional dominance. We are systematically dismantling the Ukrainian C3, command, control, and communications architecture to limit their coordination across brigade boundaries. With ammunition depots destroyed, their logistical synchronization is collapsing, a precursor to larger-scale tactical withdrawal.
Let's discuss the southern front, particularly around Sloviansk and Severodonetsk.
In the south, we're consolidating around key urban nodes, Sloviansk, Severodonetsk, Ivanopoli, and Konstantinovka. Our forces inflicted losses on 6 mechanized and airborne brigades, plus several territorial defense and marine units. Approximately 175 enemy soldiers were neutralized. Operationally, the importance here is connectivity. These nodes link into the Donetsk-Kramatorsk logistics spine. By degrading this network, we're isolating Ukrainian formations still operating in the Seversk pocket and denying them coordinated retreat or resupply options.
The center seems to have been the most dynamic front, with the liberation of Novopavlovka. Can you elaborate?
Yes. The center group executed a decisive advance, liberating Novopavlovka in the Donetsk People's Republic. This operation targeted a concentration of 6 mechanized, 2 airborne, and several assault and marine brigades. Ukrainian losses exceeded 460 personnel. The liberation provides both symbolic and strategic value, symbolically as a morale marker, and strategically as it opens the lateral corridor between Dmitrov and Krasnoarmysk, enabling more flexible operational logistics. These maneuvers have effectively created a salient deep within Ukrainian-held territory, permitting us to flank residual defenses in the western Donetsk region.
Let's move eastward. The East Group reportedly completed the liberation of Alexivka. How does that affect the overall front?
Liberating Alexivka was critical. It expands our operational reach across the Dnipropetrovsk-Zaporizhzhia boundary. 2 Ukrainian mechanized brigades, supported by assault regiments, were dismantled here, with 290 casualties reported. By holding Alexivka, we now possess a deeper strike platform into central Ukrainian logistics lines that sustain the southern fronts. Moreover, this advancement enhances our counter-battery potential. With the new forward line, Russian artillery can interdict Ukrainian supply routes feeding both Dnipro and Poltava sectors.
Finally, let's talk about the Dnipro sector, where both coastal defense and artillery assets were reportedly hit.
The Dnipro Group conducted deliberate strikes near Olgovka and Antonovka in the Kherson region, and Primorskoye and Orkhov in the Zaporizhzhia region. We eliminated around 80 enemy soldiers and destroyed several high-value Western systems, including 2 U.S.-made M777 howitzers and a 155mm Bogdana self-propelled artillery system. This region is strategically sensitive due to its proximity to riverine crossings and coastal logistics. The destruction of Ukrainian coastal defense units diminishes their ability to contest amphibious mobility and drone deployment across the lower Dnipro basin.
Before we conclude, Colonel, could you give us a brief on the air and missile campaigns supporting these operations?
Our aviation, UAVs, and missile troops executed 145 precision strikes across Ukrainian territory. The focus was on energy facilities tied to military production, transport hubs, and temporary deployment sites housing both Ukrainian troops and foreign mercenaries. Air defenses successfully intercepted 142 UAVs and 8 guided bombs, reaffirming the high efficiency of our layered air defense network. These actions collectively weaken Ukraine's capacity to sustain prolonged counteroffensives, reducing both their material reserves and command flexibility.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to emphasize that, from a doctrinal perspective, October 15th marks a transition from localized engagements to deep operational maneuvering. The liberation of Novopavlovka and Alexivka provides the Russian armed forces with corridor control that enhances operational tempo and reduces Ukrainian lateral mobility. The attrition of Ukrainian EW and logistics infrastructure is setting the stage for winter positional dominance, where Russian formations can dictate engagement timing. Strategically, this phase foreshadows potential encirclement operations aimed at isolating Ukrainian reserves west of the Donetsk-Dnipro line. If sustained, these tactical advances could shift the strategic initiative decisively toward the Russian side before the end of the operational season.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive Frontline updates from commanders in theater.